Storytelling is an art. I have learned it and you should learn it too. But do you know, in order to learn storytelling, there are few elements that you need to take care of. You can only win people with stories. You can connect to people with stories. So here is how I do it, how you manage your clients, because sometimes when the clients become frustrated, they have service issues, they have some problems that they want to speak about. The only way you let client be open with you is by storytelling is an art. It's a skill that many people talk about. While being good communicators is important as a business owner, it's also important to learn the skill of storytelling. And I'll tell you why. In today's video, I'm going to tell you how I changed my way of telling stories and how I gained more people who became more loyal, more friendly, and loved the way I started giving services. Well, this all was possible just because of storytelling. Storytelling is an art. I have learned it and you should learn it too. But do you know, in order to learn storytelling, there are few elements that you need to take care of. So I'm going to tell you what I have done for myself, and I'll also tell you what you should do for yourself in order to change the validation for your business, in order to change the way people look towards your brand just with the help of storytelling. So let's break storytelling for businesses in today's video. Hi, I am Coach Sakshi, a mompreneur turned business coach, and my job as a business coach is to help businesses scale to premium brands. And when I do this, storytelling plays an important role. Earlier, when I used to sell my offers, talk to my clients, it was all based on what could be the strategies, what could be the techniques, what could be the tools, what could be the systems. But somehow, even after giving them all of these data points, there was a disconnect when it comes to connecting with the client. The clients didn't feel so much connection. Now, if you want your clients to feel connection with you, storytelling is the way that you should always try doing. Just because you can only win people with stories. You can connect to people with stories. So here is how I do it. Every time I sit with a new client, I ensure that I am telling them some stories from my background, from my experiences, because there will be one or two stories where they will connect, and this connection will help us form a deeper connection as a human first, and then develop a trustworthy relationship as a client. Specifically, if you are a coach, if you are a psychologist, if you are a doctor, if you are a service person, if you are an agency owner, or maybe a SaaS platform owner, every time tackling into emotions via storytelling works for every brand. Now, does that mean you should tell stories only on social media or only via podcast or interviews? Well, I don't believe that, because I have been trying storytelling even in one-on-one communications with people that I communicate with. Whenever you give a perspective of storytelling, it really helps to people to understand what situations you have been through, what are the experiences that you have gone through, how you have built up the whole business empire that you are trying to enlarge or make it more bigger today. This gives them a perspective of where you come from, what you have experienced, and what is the best that you have to offer. So use storytelling as a technique when you talk or when you communicate with people. Another way where you can use storytelling is using storytelling in content marketing, where you put up content on social media, on your emails, on your blogs, where you tell people stories of what has happened. You share experiences with people, and that's where people feel connected about it. So using storytelling in content marketing is also going to be of help definitely to you as a business owner. Now, another point that is relevant with respect to storytelling is how you manage your clients, because sometimes when the clients become frustrated, they have service issues, they have some problems that they want to speak about. The only way you let client be open with you is by storytelling techniques, where first you start by telling an experience or a story that has happened in the past, and that allows the customer to more freely talk about their fears, their anxieties, their queries about your service. service. So if you feel your clients are stuck and they are not communicating properly with you, maybe you need a virtual call or maybe you need a one-on-one meeting with the client. Sit there and tell them what has happened earlier in the past, how you guys have changed, and from there you will start seeing the changes happening in your client's behavior or in your client's communication. These tactics really work deep. But then how should we actually frame up stories? What are the important elements of storytelling? So let me also help you with certain elements that are required to set up storytelling technique for you when you are communicating. The first thing is to ensure that you give them a setup, an environment of where the thing happens. So maybe you can start with a month, with the dates, or with a specific timing where the incident happened. So whenever you have to speak in storytelling, it should not be about, hey, I am so and so, this happened on so and so date. It should not begin like this. Instead, the beginning could be, it was a bright Sunday morning, the sun was shining high, we were sitting on a beach. It should go like this so that the person can visualize. Visualization technique to start your story is the best thing, because then people can actually pursue or can actually visualize what you're talking about. This helps them connect to the story in depth. The second thing and the most important thing is the tone of your storytelling. What is the tone that you're keeping? Are you having an excited tone in a sad story or a sad tone in an excited story? Both of them are disasters. So ensure that whatever story you're going to tell, your tone of speech changes accordingly. The third thing is adding characters to the story, because only if you say, hey, there was one person that did this to me, it doesn't make any sense and it doesn't really connects. But then if you say, hey, there was a client who was middle-aged, around 35 to 40 years, working in US, and he did this for me. Now this makes sense because the person can better visualize your story or better visualize your experience that you are trying to tell them. So always ensure you're plotting the characters right in your story. The next thing is to give it a meaning or give it a problem solution orientation, where you talk about what really happened, what was the situation, what was the issue, what was the challenge, and how did you guys overcome it. So problem and solution orientation becomes the middle part of the story, and at the end comes in the conclusion, where you really want to tell them what you learned, what you experienced, or what was the end of that particular story, in other words. Now this particular framework of starting and closing a communication really can help you build a connect with any stranger in 5 minutes. And if you can use this with strangers, you can definitely use it with your clients. So just think about it. Are you telling them stories in fill in the blanks method, or do you have this set of framework that you can use to deliver stories to your clients and show them your experience, tell them your past experiences, make them feel what you have felt in the past years, make them more connected. So that's how storytelling really helps you. Here's why storytelling works in sales. 1, it makes your brand more relatable. When you start telling stories for your brand to sell a particular product instead of just selling offers or creating discounts, the stories really connect. Go back to the ads of Maggie or Horlicks, where they position mothers' love with their product. And this emotional bond, this emotional story connects with the people. They find it more relatable and they go and buy the product ultimately. The second way storytelling helps you is by showing the process without over-explaining. Again, have you seen the ads of Chakki Fresh Atta, where they literally show you the process of how the atta or how the coffee is being processed? Now these product ads again connect you to the process. Instead of explaining it to you via some technical terms, they start explaining you via storytelling, that so many farmers are engaged. Okay, the same kind of storytelling is also used by tea brands, where they show you the tea plantations, they show you how tea is made, and then they make the ad for the tea. Now this emotional connect actually helps you to explain the process without going deep with technical terms, but still explaining them what went through when you were creating that particular product or service. The third thing that storytelling does before selling or while selling is that it creates trust before transaction. Well, just imagine you tell a story to your client while you are pitching a product, and your client just feels attracted towards that story. They love that story. They love the experience that you have gone through, and just because of that particular story, they start building trust in you, that you are more trustworthy, you are more responsible, you are someone who can help them grow their business and become their growth partners. So building of trust happens before building up a transaction, and this really helps in sales. So not only storytelling does helps you with daily communication, it also helps you with marketing and sales. I'll see you in another video. Signing off, Coach Sakshi.